Alright, y'all, so I'm getting on here doing a quick video. Um, got my coffee this morning, and I just kind of wanted to let this subject settle a little bit before I touched on it in any way, shape, or form. So I guess here's my 2 cents on it, being the Gibson guy that I have been for so many years. So the video of the Gibson Firebird X's, and then also the video of the Memphis custom shop, I guess, reclamation project or whatever, where they were going in and destroying all of the backstock guitars for the Gibson custom shop in Memphis when it closed. I have a couple of things to say about that. More so, touching on Gibson's, I guess, claim that they have changed since they've gotten the new president, JC, whatever his name is, and since losing Jeselnik or whatever the hell the other guy's name was, the moron that was like focusing more on pro audio and hi-fi stereo equipment or whatever, veering very far away from what Gibson is known for. So anyway, back on the subject at hand. Because I feel like these are policies that are left over from that president that are just still being kind of enacted. Excuse me. A little bit of indigestion. Drinking coffee without breakfast this morning. The Firebird X video, my personal opinion on it is that those guitars, I know that the Firebird X was a garbage piece of shit guitar, and that, the price point that they were trying to sell it at, only a moron, would buy, or collectors, you know what I mean? People that, are more about preserving, museum collectors, as I like to call them. Guys that don't really play, not players, they weren't geared towards players, they were geared towards collectors. So that's essentially my 2 cents on the guitar itself. Now, even though I know that the guitar itself was not geared towards players, I feel like those guitars, if it was backstock and if it was, like B stock kind of stuff, because before the last president, when B stock Gibsons would come off the floor, essentially what they would do is they would mark them down considerably, because I know, because I had bought a couple this way. I was like, oh my god, a Gibson custom shop guitar for essentially the price of what a studio edition guitar would cost. Like you get a $4,000 guitar for essentially like $1,500. It would have been easier to do something like that, like make it a B stock and sell it that way. Or I want to give credit where credit is due. The Guitologist, his channel on YouTube, he had stated that those guitars could have been donated to schools, or programs where they give instruments to underprivileged children and individuals and musicians who can't afford the instruments. That would have been, I feel like, a better step as far as a PR move for Gibson, instead of producing this video a bulldozer running them over. And also to touch on the other video of the reclamation, the Memphis shop reclamation thing, that those guitars would have been better suited being fully outfitted instead of oh well, it's left on the floor, we can't sell them because they're not finished. It was essentially like these guitars were still in the middle of production, and instead of the cost of just moving those guitars to the Nashville shop, where everything was moved to, I live here in Nashville, moved up to the Nashville shop from Memphis, they decided to destroy them. So I feel like Gibson, where they're trying to make this big deal, this big to-do of that they're not the same company that they were 5 years ago, and that, they've had a paradigm shift as far as, their whole attitude towards, making musical instruments, and this whole yada, 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 like, we're better, that kind of thing. I feel like that move would have been more aligned with the idea that they have changed, rather than what they ended up going with, which was destroying the guitars and then uploading the video. Even though I understand why they uploaded the videos for insurance purposes to prove that the guitars were destroyed. But yeah, I feel like, that would have been the better PR move moving forward, for the quote-unquote new Gibson, and the new face of Gibson. And, that video and the video of the reclamation project and the Agnassi, we're watching, guitar builders were watching the threatening video where it seemed like they were kind of targeting, smaller, more boutique market builders, for, copying their body shapes. I feel like, that it isn't, and again, I have been a Gibson guitar user since I started playing guitar. My first electric guitar was an Epiphone, special, the first round of specials that they did, the Epiphone Special 1, not a Special 2. Excuse me. And then, my second guitar I've made multiple videos about was a 1967 Flying V. And I still have those guitars to this, well, the special is in pieces, but, it happens when you're in a punk rock band. So, I still have a soft spot in my heart for that company, but it pains me as a fan of those guitars, to see the corporate handling of the name and of the product, and and I hate even saying calling it the product, you know what I mean, because the heritage behind that company is very, it's an American company. It's a something that this country could be proud of, one of the many things that this country can be proud of. And it's just it's kind of reflecting upon how the divide, and this is just I guess my personal opinion on it, kind of the divide that we have in this country it's very reflective of the very thin threads that it's seated upon currently. Now, as far as what they could do to fix this, I really don't have any sort of keys or clues to help them as far as, after the fact. But I just feel like that was not the move to make. as far as, the guitars go. Donate them to kids, donate them to, a program that caters to, musicians on hard times, because musicians fall on hard times all the time. It's a thing. Sometimes you gotta end up selling all your gear because you got bills to pay, and it just sucks. It happens. Happens to the best of us. It's happened to me. It's happened to friends of mine. Shit happens. You know what I mean? But I feel like it's still, within their grasp to be able to, actually make good on the promises that they have been making, as far as like being a changed company, and, shifting their focus back onto building good guitars, and, being the company that they have been known to be in the past. But yeah, tell me what you guys think down in the comments section. I'd love to know if you guys got any ideas as far as how they could fix their whole this whole debacle, and like shine a better light on their company. I feel like they could let Mark Ignacy go, and like, they could hire a whole younger team of guys that are actually musicians, and try to like steer the focus of what they're doing to the here and now. You know what I mean? Because yeah, Gibson has a heritage, but they also need to stay current. They also need to keep up with the times. They need to make themselves relevant again, and in a good way, not to where they're becoming a meme on the internet. But yeah, again, tell me what you guys think down in the comments section. Give me a like, comment, subscribe. I'm back as far as it's all concerned. But yeah, some more videos to come soon. Probably gonna do some more things. Got Guitar Safari, I'm working on that. I'm gonna be working with my friend's channel, Board Games. Go check them out, Board Games. But yeah, tell me what you guys think. I've been Harrison the Neurotic Fox, and toodles.